Ghostbusters. Answer the Call in 3D. I don't recall ever hearing the term Answer the Call until this came out on Blu-ray. Did they tack that on after the theatrical run for some reason? Well, I guess I won't be able to join certain clubs after this because I actually enjoyed this movie. I didn't get a chance to see it in the theaters, and I actually saw this a few years ago flat. I don't remember where I streamed it, but what I had saw had a dance sequence towards the end that was missing during this 3D version. I guess I had watched an extended version. Now, I get a kick out of dance movies, so I have a soft spot for that sort of thing, but the end does flow better with that little dancing bit gone. Now, when I watched this flat, I recall loving the colorful glow of the spirits, and I imagined that it would look great in 3D. And wow, does it ever! This is a blast in 3D. I would go so far as to say this movie is peak 3D experience. It's one of those movies that makes every scene work in 3D. Even the long establishing shots give a great exaggerated 3D perspective, so every building is discernible in its space. It really has a great Viewmaster effect when it pulls back, for those who have ever looked at a Viewmaster. This is the first 3D movie I've seen that breaks the screen barrier for dramatic effect. Some movies like Transformers, for example, will switch aspect ratios between scenes, but this one keeps the aspect ratio consistent with one exception, but various CGI elements will shoot out of the frame. And not all the time, just at the right moments. And in 3D, that gives it a great jump out of your TV feel. It's a lot of fun. And I didn't see it coming. And when it first happened, I actually jumped a little. It was fun. Now, I don't remember if I watched this off Netflix or if I downloaded somebody's rip of it, but whatever the case, it trimmed the black bars. And I also noticed when I play the Blu-ray on my computer, as opposed to my Blu-ray player, the software also trimmed it by default. Now, if you watch it with that trimmed off, you're missing out on some fun, especially at the end of the movie. The original Ghostbusters was a little before my time, so I didn't see it until long after its day. My first exposure to the idea of Ghostbusters was the toys, the cartoon series, the music. I think I even watched the sequel on TV long before I watched the original. When I finally did see the original, to my surprise, it was nothing like its reputation. The original movie does have jokes, but I feel if the cast weren't well-known comedians, it would be remembered as a horror movie. It's got a doorway to hell, possessed people, evil dogs. Even the iconic Marshmallow Man is a monster. When it comes down the street, you aren't doing belly laughs. You hear the loud boom, boom of its King Kong steps. It's a terrifying sight, especially for its time. And sure, it may lack the gore associated with horror today, but I think Ghostbusters is very comparable to what passed for horror from the 70s and 80s. Now, not being a horror fan, I didn't really care for Ghostbusters, but I feel I get why people who do like it didn't like this one, or even the original sequel, Ghostbusters 2. I felt Ghostbusters 2 tried to turn them into action heroes, which didn't work either. And this Answer the Call is in a whole different world altogether. I read that the intent here was to create a live-action version of the cartoon toy series, and yeah, that's exactly what this is. And maybe with some Bridesmaids thrown in, which I imagine pleased no horror fan anywhere. But for a goosey cheese lover like myself, I enjoyed every moment of this glow fest. I mean, just look at these colorful glow stick graphics. This is just a delight for the eyes. It's unfortunate this movie has been made out to be some kind of polarizing statement because, I don't know, the content really is not. I actually never felt like the film was ever trying to make a statement about anything other than it's fun to have fun. But I get it. It doesn't feel anything like the original. And the fans of the original wanted a very specific cut of meat and instead got served a Big Mac with no pickles.